Hello and welcome. This video is going to examine some of the air defense measures taken by the United States during the Cold War. We will examine the details of one particular air defense base in Northern California and the types of fighter interceptors which were based there. In the 1950s and 60s, Air Defense Command was a major component of the United States Air Force, responsible for protecting the continental United States from Soviet bomber attacks during the Cold War. The command's mission was to detect, intercept, and, if necessary, destroy incoming enemy aircraft, primarily long-range bombers that might deliver nuclear weapons. One of its key installations on the West Coast was Hamilton Air Force Base in Northern California, close to San Francisco. And this base played a prominent role in the defensive shield. Aircraft like the F-102 Dagger and the F-106 Dart were central to a high-speed, radar-guided defense system, while the F-101 Voodoo provided long-range response capability. The F-104 Starfighter, though impressive in performance, was not well suited to the interceptor role and was quickly replaced. Throughout the era, Hamilton served as a critical defense bastion, protecting major urban and strategic targets in California. In February 1958, the Starfighter began its service with the Air Force, and just a few months later it was pressed into action during the Second Taiwan Strait Crisis to deter the use of Chinese MiG-15 and MiG-17 fighters. The Starfighter featured a radical design with thin, stubby wings attached farther back on the fuselage than most contemporary aircraft. The wing provided excellent supersonic and high-speed, low-altitude performance, but also poor turning capability and high landing speeds. It was the first production aircraft to achieve Mach 2. The first aircraft to reach an altitude of 100,000 feet after taking off under its own power. The Starfighter established world records for airspeed, altitude, and time to climb. And in 1958, it became the first aircraft to hold all three goals simultaneously. It was also the first aircraft to be equipped with the M61 Vulcan autocannon. Delays in the 1954 Interceptor project led to demands for an interim interceptor aircraft design, a role that was eventually won by the F-101B Voodoo. This role required extensive modifications to add a large radar to the nose of the aircraft, a second crew member to operate it, and a new weapons bay using a rotating door that held its 4 AIM-4 Falcon missiles or 2 Air-2 Genie rockets hidden within the airframe until it was time to be fired. The F-101B entered service with the USAF in 1959. The end of the Korean War and the development of the jet-powered Boeing B-52 Stratofortress negated the need for fighter escorts, and Strategic Air Command opted to withdraw from the program. Despite SAC's loss of interest, the Voodoo had attracted the attention of Tactical Air Command, leading to the F-101 being reconfigured as a fighter bomber. In this capacity, it was intended to carry a single nuclear weapon for use against tactical targets such as airfields. TAC requested numerous alterations to the Voodoo to suit the new role, including additional apparatus to permit air-to-ground communication, provision to carry external pods, and structural strengthening. A total of 77 Voodoos were built, only 50 of which were ever used operationally, while the remainder were used exclusively for experimental work. They were gradually withdrawn from the USAF service starting in 1966. 29 survivors were converted to RF-101G specification with a modified nose housing reconnaissance cameras in place of cannons and radar. These served with the Air National Guard through to 1972. That's it, so hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.